Hello. So I am freezing in my room right now. I'm wearing a blanket, as you can see, because the rest of the house is like totally nice and regulated and ooh, central air, we just love it so much. But my room feels like I'm sitting in a refrigerator, which I'm not really complaining about because I like the cold. Like I would rather be all bundled up like it's the middle of January than have it be like a fucking soupy mess like the way it is outside right now. Ugh, it's disgusting. But I'm just saying it's freezing in my room, so let's just go with this. Um Now I know that I told you guys that I would be doing like a beauty video and talking to you about my favorite beauty products as of recently, and I will do that. I just haven't done it yet. Okay, it is coming. I don't know if that'll be this week or next week. I got to see how things work out. But right now, I just wanted to talk about this particular topic because, like, I'm sitting here and I'm kind of getting kind of annoyed. Not at any one thing in particular, but just in general. This is something that has kind of annoyed me throughout this whole process of writing a book and, you know, getting ready to self-publish a book and, trying to work on cover art. Oh, Ethel, don't. Just don't. Cover art and all the stuff that's involved in this. It's a whole lot of crap. Okay, and that's difficult enough. All right, trust me, it is like it's incredibly stressful. It's an incredibly stressful thing, and I'm sitting here, I'm seriously convinced that I'm like going out of my freaking mind because I'm sitting here every single day just like staring at this freaking thing I'm working on, and I'm just like, oh my god, I just want it to be done. Like, I totally understand why people pay somebody to do this shit. Like, I totally get it. Not because it's particularly difficult. I'm finding it's not that hard, but as far as like formatting and stuff goes, like writing a book is fucking difficult. But like formatting and like making it look like a freaking masterpiece, like, oh, this is something that people will take seriously, like doing all this stuff is like, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Like, I totally understand why people pay people to do it. Uh, but anyway, like, all of this is very difficult work. Okay? It's always reminding me to drink some water. I don't listen half of the time. But anyway, what was I saying? Right, okay, so it's difficult work, right? And that's hard enough. But what makes it more difficult is when you have these people in your life, whether they're family, they're friends, they're, I don't know, I don't know, just anybody. They think that because you are in a creative field, whether it's your occupation or it's just your hobby, whatever, because you are doing something in a creative field, they, for whatever reason, think that that gives them a free pass to dictate everything you do. Like, oh, well, I think that your next book should be written about this, and she should do this, and she should. And then you just feel like, you know what? Then you go write that book because that's not my vision. That is yours. Like, would you tell Michelangelo how to paint something? Like, it just drives me nuts. It really drives me crazy. And I'm not like talking about any one situation here because I'm not like sitting here bitching about any particular person. This is just a common occurrence for the past like however long that I've been writing this book. People just, you know, they want you to do what they want you to do. And I mean, I'm very open to opinions. My friends can tell you that like I send them little excerpts and I'm like, "Hey, what do you think of the way this is written? Should I do it differently? What do you think would make this better?" Or sending them different, cover art ideas that I have, and it's like, okay, which would you buy? If you were in a bookstore and you're looking around, which of these covers would grab you? I love opinions. I love getting the viewpoint from other people other than myself, because let's be honest, everything I do turns to gold. Anything I look at that I did, I'm like, oh my God, this is great. But no, it's not always great. So you need other people's opinions. But if I ask you for your opinion, that is not a free pass to then tell me how to do everything. You know what I mean? It just grates on me. Like, I don't know why people think that that's okay. Like, let me tell you something. It is difficult enough to do this. Okay, because honestly, I mean, I know I said that, like, oh, everything I do turns to gold or whatever. I'm being sarcastic, okay? But everything that I do, as far as this goes, I'm like second guessing everything. I'm comparing myself to other people all the time. I'm always thinking like, oh, this could be better. This could be better. This could be better. It is like a constant thing. It is all the time. So it's hard enough, being in this position. But what makes it more difficult is when other people kind of make you feel that way too. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, well, you should do this instead. And it's like, well, I didn't need you to tell me that. I just asked you how you liked the way that was worded. You know what I mean? Like, it just, oh God, it just drives me nuts. Like, I don't know why people think that this is okay. If you have a friend who is a musician, an author, a photographer, whatever, let them do their art the way they want to do it. If they ask you how you think something looks or how it reads or how it sounds, whatever, it's okay to give your honest opinion. But then don't be like, oh, you know what you should do? You should do that. Blah, blah, blah. Don't be like that. Like, oh my God, it just drives me out of my freaking mind. The cat is driving me out of my freaking mind too. Do you hear her? She's like, I don't even know what she's doing. I mean, she clearly wants something, and it would be the right thing to do to get up and help her out with that. But at this moment, why are you crying? Come here. Why are you crying? I don't want you to cry. It's not a good thing to cry. Come on. But yeah, I don't know. It just absolutely drives me insane. And I wish that people would just, respect that this isn't their work. This isn't their vision. If I ask an opinion, clearly I want it. But then don't give me all of your opinions because I didn't ask for them. Like it's just kind of obnoxious, okay? I'm being honest. It's really freaking obnoxious. And I'm not talking about like, I can't remember if I mentioned this already, but I'm not talking like if you go and you ask somebody to edit your work, or if, obviously if you hire an editor or whatever, like that's an entirely different thing because you are, requesting that service from that person. You know what I mean? That's their job to do that. But when you are just like, oh, Sister Hazel, that's an excellent band, by the way. I did not do that on purpose. It just popped out of my mouth. You're asking your sister Hazel, and you're like, hey, I wrote this chapter. What do you think of it? And then she reads it, and she's like, hey, I think that this is pretty good. But you know what? Just stop there. Just stop there. Don't then go into, but you know what? I think that you should do this. And you know what? You should completely change her name. And by the way, that guy, you should change his name too. And you know what? Instead of having brown hair, he should have, I don't know, red hair. And then you know what? Instead of making him a freaking construction worker, he should be a podiatrist. Like, no, stop. I asked you if it was good. You told me already. Now, cut it out. Oh my God. It's so grating. This is actually reminding me, okay, of, all right, I'm a big fan of the whole Miss Peregrine series, or trilogy, whatever. I'm a big fan of it, okay? I love Ransom Riggs. Freaking love him. I mean, I'm not, like, typically into the whole, like, YA thing, you know, I'm not like judging people who read young adult novels, you know, that's totally cool. It's just not really my thing typically. The storyline has to get me. You know what I mean? Like, I have to be interested in the storyline. I don't judge a book because of the genre, is basically what I'm saying. But anyway, love Ransom Riggs, okay? Now, a lot of people had a problem with the movie, the Miss Peregrine's movie, okay? And it wasn't perfect, okay? But I didn't hate it. I didn't rag on it. I didn't rip it a new one, okay? But now I follow Mr. Riggs on, you know, social media, okay? Because I really, really like him. I mean, just as a person, I really like him. So during the time that this movie was being released and then after its release and all this shit, okay, I was seeing so many comments from these freaking greedy, selfish little people, okay, who were making comments about how, oh, if you really cared about the fans, then you would have kept the movie truer to the book. And all I kept thinking, and I, oh my God, sometimes I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut, okay, it's really not a good thing, but you know, all I wanted to say to these people was like, okay, well, fuck you, you know, this isn't your work. This isn't your decision to make. I mean, you are certainly entitled to an opinion, and I mean, the beautiful thing about, you know, opinions is that everybody is entitled to have one, and you're entitled to state that opinion. I mean, he allows comments, so you're certainly entitled to, you know, type it up and send it away and, you know, hope that maybe he reads it and actually gives a shit. But in my mind, though, I'm not going to tell another artist what the fuck to do with their art. I mean, if he's sitting there with Tim Burton and the two of them are working together, and I know that Mr. Riggs was very involved in the creating of that movie, so clearly he must have been pretty okay with the way that it was done. So if he's pretty okay with what Tim Burton did with his art, then that's really all that matters. You don't have to like it, but if he's okay with it, then that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Because that is his work, not yours. And ever since, you know, I started like, you know, doing my own novel and all that, I've really like taken this stance on, you know, just art in general, you know, writing, music, movies, you know, whatever. Like, just because you wouldn't have done something one way doesn't mean that it's wrong. You know, just because you might not like it doesn't mean that it's wrong, you know? And I mean, I write book reviews and I'm pretty bitchy sometimes about them. I can't help it. But again, I'm entitled to an opinion. I think that reviews are a good thing. I think that it is important to know what your fan base thinks of something. I do think that that's important because it helps you grow. That being said, not everything you think is always right. You know, they are still entitled to do their art the way that they want to do it. So, keep that in mind the next time you open your mouth to your artistic friends, because your vision is not their vision. You know, you can give your opinions, but don't be offended if they don't take them, because they are not. They are not. God, what is the word? They are not entitled to. No, that's not right. Oh God. And I'm trying to write a book and I can't even think of the word. I don't know. I'm trying to be wise here, and I hope that it's coming across that way, because I'm just it's a frustrating roller coaster as it is, you know? It really is. So anywho, now that I have rambled on and on and on about that shit that nobody really cares about, I think I'm gonna do a haul soon too. I have gotten like several eyeshadow palettes, and oh my god, I was thinking about this today because I got the on the Sephora app today, the Ciate London Chloe Morello palette was on the app for today only. I know that it's being re-released, I think on the 30th, but I saw it on the app today and I was like, oh my God, because ever since that came out, I have been looking on the Sephora website at the beauty hall set or whatever. I've been looking at it and I really was like on the fence about it and I kept going back and forth, and then I saw it on clearance. Oh God. And I still didn't get it, and then I was kicking myself because I was like, oh, I should have gotten that because I really like it. And then I saw it on the app today, so I got it. I don't know. I felt like it was a wise purchase. Wise. I felt like it was a good purchase because it was something that I've been like thinking a lot about, you know, but I just don't know. I don't know why I did it. I have like 2 eyeshadow palettes already that I've gotten that I haven't even really used. Oh my God. One of them is the Storybook Cosmetics palette. If you follow me on Instagram, then you will see that I got the Witchcraft and Wizardry. Or is it Wizardry and Witchcraft? I don't remember. But either way, I got this palette. I haven't even swatched it yet because I just don't want to. I don't want to destroy its beautifulness. Like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. I just want to put it on a shelf and look at it forever. But, you know, that's not why we buy makeup. We buy makeup to use it, not to collect it. But, oh my God, it's just so beautiful. And I have the Beauty and the Beast eyeshadow palette. Oh my God, I couldn't even think. And that is another beautiful one. And I haven't used that at all. I just keep on like getting these things and I'm not touching them. Ethel, what is your problem? All right, she wants to come around here. So I'm going to end this now, and I will talk to you guys later. Beauty videos soon. Promise. Whoa! She just jumped over the freaking computer. Okay, talk to you guys later. Ta-ta.